Hello everybody, this is a bit of an impromptu live. I hope everybody's having an outstanding day so far. And Lynn was going to invite me on a channel, but we just need a bit more, few things that we're going to work out because Lynn's amazing with what she does and her ghost stories and things. We're going to be talking about our paranormal experiences and everything. So
yeah. I wanted to do this myself, but I'm absolutely useless. So Paul's had to do it. I'm the guest, and we've had to reverse it. So it doesn't matter. We're here. Yeah. So what I wanted to do was probably once a month or something, depending on if anybody's interested, was to come on and do a little hours chat show, people asking me questions, and also to talk about some of the places that I've been on investigations and what's happened there. But as Paul was going to be my first guest and we were going to talk, I thought about the Dick Wit, if you remember the Dick Wit.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, and also Woodchester Mansion when you come screaming through the room. So those sort of stories that I don't think people have heard or I've said about. They might be in my book, but yeah, so I just wanted to do, other than ghost stories, ghost experiences. Yeah, so I wrote a list, a long list.
Well done.
Of all the places that we've been. So one of the places, and I don't know dates, so years ago, one of the places was Woodchester Mansion, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And that was where we were in the kitchen. There were a few people in the corridor adjacent to the kitchen. All of a sudden, we all heard a growl. And it sounded like a man's voice as well, if I remember. And everybody come running in from the corridor into the kitchen. Were you there that night?
Yes, that was me that kind of came running in with it. So, yeah, I mean, I was actually filming at the time, and it does sound slightly different on mine. You definitely hear like a female scream. Then you hear us all kick off. So it's quite funny. You just see the camera flying around all over the place, and there's some guy having palpitations. And that's it. Those are watching, because I see there's 4 people watching at the moment, so please join. This was a bit impromptu. Can you just put a comment on there so I can see that you're watching? Just a little hi or something. That'll be really, really good, because I want to just make sure it's running. Because with Restream, sorry, I just took you away from this, Lynn. With Restream, they will change their settings, so I just want to make sure that that it's coming out. In fact, I can send myself a little hi from one of my other channels, so we know it's all working, everything like that. So,
but nobody said anything.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm just going to put hi on here and see if it pops up on here. So let's see what's. Yeah, no, it's okay. People can comment. So do comment, people, and talk to each other. So excellent. So we've got our first hi, which is really, really good. So I drawn.
Imagine, is that
to images? Oh, thank you for being on there. Yeah. Thank you. Dawn is on here too. So hello, Dawn. So and I've realised a whole group of people will be sending lives, because I realised I didn't have much time to just be techie. So I apologise that it was just a link and not any context with it or anything. And we've got that out of the way. I can relax on my glass of water, and we can enjoy going down memory lane. So we were talking about Woodchester Mansion, so my apologies.
No, that's all right. For my apologies for being an idiot. I just, I know quite a bit about computers and what I do, but this is new to me. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Hello, Paul. Hello, Lynn. Oh, I'm Vanessa. Hello, darling. Yeah, so that when we went to Woodchester, as I was saying just now, that was when we all heard the growl in the kitchen, and we were about to go to different places, weren't we? And you come running in, arms and legs everywhere, like Barrow 40, screaming, because you all heard something in the corridor. And of course, because you all came in screaming, we all came in screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And people, can you also let us know what the sound levels are like as well for both of us? That'd be really, really appreciated. Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic place, Woodchester Mansion. I remember the very, very first time I went to Woodchester Mansion.
Yeah.
I had, well, not the first time I went, but the first time I did a paranormal investigation at Woodchester Mansion. I had a cold at the time. I wasn't, usually I'm quite chatty with people. I was pretty not very chatty that day because I was feeling quite unwell. And I spent the entire time sitting next to the fire, keeping warm. And I thought this is an interesting way of spending a ghost investigation, just like this next to the fire. So.
It says it's a bit echoey.
Okay. So I'm just going to play with the sound setting a little bit because I've just heard that I'm quieter as well. So we're going to get this right and nice for everybody. So let me just see what the sound levels are like. So let's see. So if you say something now, then I'm just going to check to see what the sound levels are like.
I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Yeah, is it echoing now?
Yes,
So,
I think
hello, Jonathan.
sounds okay in Dorset. Okay, that's good. So do you let us know what the sound levels are like? Because I like them to be,
An echo mic. Shall I turn my volume down a bit then?
Well, yeah. I mean, it should be okay. I can do it my end. So yeah.
Dawn says it's better.
Hello, Pat, and I've noticed Ness, Kim Horton. Hello, Kim. Jonathan's up here. Hello to you. Kerry's here. Yes,
Kerry. Oh, that's nice to see you all.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll get them in the end. I'll be able to do it all right.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's nice to be connected to you on here anyway. So, and I will go through it with you again. And we'll get it.
Paul came down the other day and we had a good old blooming fiddle and that. And I thought I'd done it, but it was the point of inviting somebody that I couldn't do, wasn't it? When I was on my own, I think that was okay, but I need to do that. To invite people. Yeah, so anyway, we'll get back to that was Woodchester. A lot of other things happened there. I don't think you were with me when I saw that woman walk through the wall, were you, Paul?
Was that Woodchester Mansion?
Yeah, there was 5.
No, do tell us about that time when you saw a lady walk through the wall.
Oh yeah, there was 5 of us just outside the base room. And I know Carol Vickers was there because I've spoke to her recently. And we were just chatting, and of course you got the light on from the base room, but in the corridor where we were stood, there wasn't any light on. And then all of a sudden, I looked down towards, I looked down to my right, which was down the corridor, and which led down to the cellar and some of the other rooms in the kitchen and that. And I saw this figure of a woman, very tall, very slim. I wouldn't say she was dressed in white, but it was like an off-white, almost see-through. And she just literally glided, and I mean glided, from that corner across the corridor and into the wall where there was a big mirror. Now, I can't remember whether she actually went into the mirror or she went into the wall by the mirror, but she definitely did. And I turned around and said, did anybody see that? And there was 5 of us, and we all said yes. She didn't look at us. She looked very sad. She had her head down. We think that she may have been there from the previous house that was supposed to be there, or the land, because it was said that that house was never lived in. But I do know that there was somebody did, or caretakers or something. It's going way back. But that was a definite image of this woman literally walking through the wall. One of us made a joke, said, run to the other side in the other room and see if she comes out that way. But of course we didn't, and she would have gone by the time we got there anyway. Yeah, so that was weird. I mean, downstairs as well, where we went down into the basement, I remember we were all, it's very dusty, all uneven down there, but we sat on the floor against the wall, and literally, I think there was about half a dozen of us or more. And we were sat by the wall, and opposite us was the entrances to different rooms. One of the rooms that was opposite me, I suddenly had a stone thrown at me, and it hit my shoe. And there was nobody in there, absolutely nobody in there. The same room, we heard like somebody talking on a walkie-talkie, and then switch off, and then talk again. That night, none of us had a walkie-talkie. I did take them before, but I found it was quite distracting, and it was, it was frightening people when it suddenly came on. But when I told Chris, who runs it at the Woodchester, he said that's been heard before because the American soldiers were down there and they used the walkie-talkies. Yes, Jonathan, was it you? You ran out, I pushed you back in. That was it, yes. Jonathan come running into the kitchen and he said, oh my God, I've seen the cook, she's in the corner. And I grabbed hold of him and I said, well, get back in there, and turned him round. I said, that's what we came for. And the poor man was scared to death, wasn't it, Jonathan? And I pushed him back in, and that's what we came to see. So that was weird as well. Obviously, you laugh about it, and you're a bit scared about it, and then you talk about it, and then you sort of forget because you want to go on further and see what else you can. When you see a ghost, how does it make you feel? Well, the first one I ever saw frightened the life out of me, Pat, because I didn't even realise it was a ghost. I thought I was talking to a woman. But that's another story, a long story about Woodchester, which I'll tell you another time, because I am aware that I'm late coming on, and Paul's got to go at 8:30. So I'll tell you that one another time. So at the moment, I've asked Paul if we could be together tonight to remember these places. And as I said earlier, Bitwit was where we had an event one night, and there wasn't an awful lot going on at first, was there, Paul? And then all of a sudden, it started getting active, didn't it?
Yeah, and I remember there was a lot of orbs being collected, and those that are new to paranormal investigation, balls of light, they're thought as being the first manifestation of a ghost. There is also the possibility that sometimes these orbs can be dusts or insects. But for me, there are certain times when you get orbs. I know there's a lot of people that have dismissed orbs now, where it doesn't seem to act like dust. And I've had them where they've appeared on both cameras, which wouldn't happen if it's dust, because if it's dust, it has to be reflected very closely to the lens. So if it's in exactly the same place on two different cameras. So I remember we were getting orbs at the Dick Whittington, and I can see Kim Horton is here as well. And I remember we also had somebody else, before.
Carl Cooper. Yeah, so sadly it's closed now, but
hello, Carl.
That one night, it was active, wasn't it, eventually? And then it went quiet again. And if I remember correctly, we said, oh, there's nothing happening now, we're going to go. Everybody went, just me and you, wasn't it? And we was waiting for Grumpy to pick us up.
Yeah, and for those not know that Grumpy was Lynn's husband that sadly passed away recently, but he used to run this taxi service. Yeah, was very good at picking us up.
He was 3 o'clock in the morning. Bless him. Yeah, it's been 3 years this April. But anyway, Paul and I decided that everybody's gone, and then we might as well go as well. And there's the glass doors, double doors, at the bottom of the stairs, which is a back entrance to the pub. You can either come in that way, or if it's open, or push the bar to open it to go out. So we were just stood there, and we were both going to put our hands on the bar. And I said, stop, wait a minute, Paul, let's wipe our feet, shoes on the carpet. And you said, why? And I said, to leave the spirit there. We don't want to take it home with us. Leave it at the place. So we did that. And then we started to open the door again, both by trying to push the bar open. And then again, we stopped and we both looked at each other because we both heard in our heads, "You're not going, are you?" Do you remember?
Yeah, it was kind of like a sort of feeling that saying didn't want to sort of stay. So I remember we both got spooked at the same time. That can happen occasionally on paranormal investigations, and we both ran to the door at the same time and both struggled to get out of the door for just a little bit.
We literally, what they call it when we bash into each other?
Wedged. Yeah, bottlenecked or wedged in the door, yeah.
We got wedged. We eventually got out, but that was the spookiest part, though. That we both heard in our heads the same thing.
Yeah, and I also remember, so yes, that was interesting. We both had that same sense at the same time. Yeah. But I remember you also in the pub, and you thought it was the owners in still on that investigation, and thought, "Oh, I can't go up." Then you found out they weren't actually in the building; they left us to it.
Yeah, that was before. Yeah, I went to go up the stairs where their apartment is, and I was being nosy, and I said, "Oh no, I don't know. I don't think I should." I could hear something, but I bottled out, didn't I? I come back down. And I thought, what if they came out the door and they'd wonder why I was creeping up the stairs? And then there was a big, was that another night though, Paul? There was a big bang on those doors, wasn't it? And it was the owner and his wife and the children.
Yeah, I think it might have been that night. I remember you telling me about it. But when you do these investigations, quite often we all break up into different teams, and we do it about 45 minutes and then regroup for about 15 minutes and have coffee, usually very strong coffee, the coffee that I have, and then go off again.
Yeah, but I said to him, "Oh my God," I said, we thought you were upstairs because we could hear voices." And he said, "We've heard that loads of times." I said, "Have you?" I said, "We really thought it was you." He said, "No," he said, "We've heard that loads of times." He said, "We think it's probably John Taylor still doing his banquets and inviting people up there." He said, "Because there's nobody up there at the moment, only 2 cats." And I said, "We were chinking of glasses as if somebody was toasting somebody." And I said, "I'm really glad I did stop now, because if I'd have gone on further, who knows what I would have come across."
You would have seen cats having a party.
Yeah, exactly. So if you remember, we got up the side of the pub, up the lane, up to the car, and Grumpy was saying, "What's the matter with you two?" We didn't know whether to laugh or cry or what, did we?
I think we were laughing mostly.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. And we said, "What's up?" We told him, and he said, "Well, that's what we went for, innit?" I said, "Well, yes, but we didn't really expect that, did we?" But that was pretty amazing.
And we are mostly brave, though, people.
Oh, yeah, mostly.
I must read this one actually, Lynn, because Nessa set this up for a while. Yeah, I remember we investigated a restaurant in Gloucester, and there was an ironworks on the site, and I kept on hearing banging metal. Wasn't it the New Inn? You're the one who has done all the research, but I don't remember ironworks. I mean, I know there was pins and things there, but I don't remember ironworks related to the New Inn.
I'm wondering if it was the docks.
Mm.
Do you think it was the docks, Nessa? Because there was a program on the radio where a young girl had said she saw an arm coming out of a barrel or something after she'd taken a photograph. She didn't see it at the time, but when a photograph came out, she saw this arm as if something was behind this barrel. That could have been that one. And the radio people spoke to her, they spoke to me, and then we investigated it. And we took pictures of where she'd seen it and everything. And what was weird as well was, I think we went up to 2 or 3 floors, which was quite high up. And when I looked back at my pictures that I'd taken, there was a man's face outside the window. And somebody said, "Well, he was just probably passing by." I said, "Yeah, but this was 3 floors up. He would have been 8 foot or something like that." You just saw his face. I still got that picture somewhere. Oh, the Pin
Yes.
Factory, yeah.
That was the folk museum, and in fact, when you go to the folk, well, it's actually called the Folk of Gloucester now, I think, and it's not really running so much as a museum these days. But I know that if you to go upstairs to one of the top rooms, and you've got the floorboards, if you look down the floorboards, you can still see some pins.
Yeah.
And they chose the poor children that had the pins at the pin factory because their hands were nimble to have the child labour and have the nimble fingers to work the pins. Bless them.
But let's just say it's a restaurant, so it couldn't have been the docks. It couldn't have been the museum. I'm trying to go back now. Sorry. And Ironworks, the restaurant.
So I get it back up again. Yeah, we're trying to think that because the New Inn, that doesn't make any knowledge of Gloucester. Yeah, I mean,
I don't
wasn't
know.
there a New Inn that we went to in London somewhere once? Is that the New Inn you're talking about in Essex? I remember there was also a New Inn in London.
No, she said
I don't remember the history of Gloucester. Yes, didn't she?
She said in Gloucester. In Gloucester, I took her to the Old Bell, Cafe Rennie. I'm not sure whether it's Robert Riggs. Yeah, I know the Pin Factory is where the Folk Museum, but they don't call it the Folk Museum now, Jonathan. They call it the Museum of the Folk or something. Yeah,
and Ness, I must say, is also a fantastic paranormal investigator.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember that one, but there's so many. It's unbelievable.
So let me get the first one. So it wasn't the New Inn. Then I've got Paul was interviewing the team and recording us.
Oh.
The places that I did do record at, I did do the New Inn, but I remember one of the days we also went to a place called Bearlands Restaurant, which is in Bearlands of Gloucester. And I remember that's near the docks, so it could have potentially been that one. And you go down into some cellars. I don't know what the place is being used for now, but I remember it was a Thai restaurant.
Because there was some stairs leading to nowhere, wasn't there? And then we heard somebody in the kitchen while we were there. The doors were swinging, and I heard the kitchen. Possibly the building was once a courthouse. Wasn't the New Inn, the courthouse?
We also have a saying here. What was the one in Southgate Street? You had to climb up the stairs, and it had an ornament fireplace.
Oh, that's the Bell.
That's the Bell. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, so
the old Bell.
That's closed now, unfortunately.
Yeah. Most of them are closed now. Yeah. That would have been the Bell. Oh, not the bookstore, not the shoe store. Yeah. Oh, Bearlands. It was Bearlands then.
Ah, we're there. Okay.
Yeah, it was Bearlands. Yeah, we did have a meal there, and we went round to the back or downstairs further, and that was it. Yeah, and we opened the door, and there were stairs or stone steps then leading up, which had all been blocked off, and they were doing things there, and then. The doors were swinging. They had like swinging doors to the kitchen, and we heard voices in there, but there was nobody in there. But I can't remember it making a sound.
Hello, Nando. Good to see you on here. I'm good. I hope you are too.
Sorry.
So, a friend of mine popped up, Nando, and just asked if I'm doing well. We're well, and hope you are too.
Yes, lovely to see you all. I can't actually see how many there is, but
yeah, I've got up in the 10 at the moment. They did go up to 14.
Yeah, as some of you may know, Paul did the Ghost Walks with me for a time, and he did a story, and I did a story, and that was fun, wasn't it?
It was good, yes, and we used to go quite some distance around, and
we did. Yeah, we did the Old Bell outside. Outside the Old Bell, wasn't it? And we said about the ghost in the men's toilets that threw the yellow soap.
Mm-hmm.
At one of
Yes.
the blokes there. He was a very big biker type man. You wouldn't think anything would frighten him. And he'd come out of the toilet, his voice just shook, and said he'd just had some soap thrown on him. And we said, well, we've heard this before. And we kept on, we did investigations and that, and we found out that the soap was yellow. In the toilet, that's not really a nice thing to say, but you know what I mean. The ghost didn't like the yellow soap, I don't know, but it got thrown at him. And also in the restaurant area, there was a lady, I think we called her Arson, always moved the cutlery and the chairs. The chairs would be all ready for customers to come in. It was as if somebody got up out of the chairs and pushed the chair back. And she'd move the chairs, move the cutlery. And that... I think there was there was a lot of chairs moved as well, and in the bar area, because a friend of mine used to work there, and she said she went there one day, get the bar ready for opening, polished all the tables, put the tables and chairs out ready, and went away from the bar to do something, and came back and the chairs had all moved. And she said it wasn't orange. she said, "Need more you when I need you." So that and she stayed there. She actually lived there at that time. So Oh, what's Nessa keeps?
Ness said at the Dick Whittington investigation years ago, I captured a man at the end of the bar by the stairs. So that would be. I'm trying to remember that one. That might have been because also as well when I was busy learning NLP, so I'm just turning something off here a second. When I was busy learning NLP, I didn't go on quite so many ghost and paranormal investigations around that time. But I'd love to see that, Ness, if you got it, and perhaps at some point we can share some photographs on here of what we've seen and things.
Yeah,
that's really good.
I think they were saying that was the old barman. It could have even been John Taylor, but I think we sort of worked out it was a barman. But I don't know whether you were with us as well one night when we did the investigation at the Dick Wet, and we went through the pub to the front of the building where it was all wooden floor, and we were all sat there quiet, and we could hear somebody walking around on the wooden floor. And when we all looked up, there was nobody there, and nobody was moving. And another time, there was somebody banging on the window, and it was a bloke. He'd had a few, and he was banging out the window and shouting and saying, "I know what you're doing there," he said. This was gone 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. You're witches, he said. I know what you're doing. You're doing wrong in there, and blah, 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 really having a rant at us. And the police came along. Took him away. Wow. But he was having a real good rant at us. But I don't remember.
So Jonathan said, I remember the glass being pushed off the table at the New Inn when we were doing a quiz. And that got on Great British Ghosts, which are being interviewed. And also BBC Southwest. That New Inn pint, and when it was originally uploaded to YouTube, it got a lot of hits, and I know that it was just a quiz. It wasn't even a paranormal investigation. And if you read the comments, there are a lot of people that say, "Oh, somebody moved their hand and it was a string at the time," but I know, and it wasn't that at all. And it was just one of those coincidences. And Lynn, everybody that is there, which I know you wouldn't fake anything, but if you would be, sensible enough not to have somebody who pulled the string in the photograph. So it's an absolutely absolutely genuine video that you see on that.
Absolutely. In fact, the more I've looked, and I've looked at it 100 times, the more I look at it, everything sometimes gets pixelated. The more I look at it really close, it's almost like you could see somebody moving and pushing the glass over, because it wasn't like how can I explain it without showing? You've got the table there, haven't you? And there was like a pew on the one side, and there was nothing on the other side. Probably a chair, yeah. And then the glass was put down from Sean, who was doing the quiz, and he picked up a empty glass, took it to the bar, and brought back a full pint. And it was the full pint that was literally, you could see, slid off the table, hit the chair or the pew thing. It was an old pew from a church, and then onto the floor. So it would have meant that he had, whoever it was, had his back to us and to the bar, but people opposite, or rather to the side, saw it. They all stood up, four of them. I think it was Jonathan, and another three, I think. There were three ladies from either America or somewhere. They were staying at the New Inn, and they said they'll stay to the quiz, so it was them as well. And then obviously myself and a couple of others. But there's no way we faked it. No way we faked it. It was absolutely brilliant in a way. But, you know, I mean, if you'd seen somebody pull a string or something, you would have seen it. And they had the bloke down from BBC Gloucestershire, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And he was Steve, wasn't it? Steve Nibbs. And he banged the table with Mark, and yeah, it moved, but it didn't flick off the table and onto the floor like the other did. They tried all sorts, but you know, we still. Jonathan. Yeah, I think people said because they saw Jonathan pick it up, it was him that did it, but we know it wasn't.
Well, Jonathan, I mean, I've done some paranormal investigations with Jonathan, and it was just a quiz night. But I remember, because Jonathan was pleased, I'm sure in the video he starts clapping afterwards. I'm sure. Was that what you were doing, Jonathan? Just so that that I know that you're pleased with the activity from the quiz. But again, people might be interested in seeing these videos. It's on my, not this channel, but my first YouTube channel I had Paul Goddard, but it's also on your channel. The Ghost Lady, the New Inn Pint. But if you put the New Inn Pint into Google, I'm sure that you'll easily come across the video, because it went viral and lots of people were really interested in it.
It did. Yeah, just on YouTube, just look up Great British Ghost as well. I think they show a bit of a clip of that as well.
Yes, they do.
He said, can you do a longer version of like when you first went in? And I think, what's his name? The ghost man. What's his? Well, oh God, I can't remember his name now. Bless him. He did it. He did an extra version of it. You know.
Okay. I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah, and then of course we were asked how come we were all there and how come it was filmed. But as I explained, the camera was pointing to that area because an old lady had been seen there many times. Just sat there and looking out the window, and we believed it was the nanny of the children that got burnt in the fire, and she was looking out into the courtyard to connect to them again. So that's the reason why it was captured.
But and it was security footage, and pubs will have security cameras in them.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, the whole thing that night was absolutely amazing. I mean. The problem is, I was going to say the problem is you've got to have more than one people see, but you did. We had 5 people in Woodchester Monument, so what I said, and we also had a lot of people in that room at the pub, you know. And then when we told other people, a couple of the blokes said, "Oh yeah, I've had my pint chucked off the floor or whatever," but people laughed at them because they thought it was just them being drunk. But when that happened to us, it makes sense that, you know, why should they fib? Why should they lie? Especially if it's a full pint and they've just paid for it.
Jonathan, yes, I was ever more happy that it was caught on camera. Hello, Helen. Hope you're doing good too. I need to go in 5 minutes, Lynn, but so it's been slightly shorter than we originally planned, but we must do this again and say more stories. If we have any footage that we want to share, we can maybe do that in a later version of it. But we've got 5 minutes. I'm not going to go just yet. But is there anything else you really would like to sort of say, you know, in this time?
I might try doing this when you're gone. I might try doing this on my own and see if I could do it that way.
Of course you
Because
can.
the only thing that I couldn't work out was inviting you, wasn't it? But I mean, we've got absolutely loads. I mean, we've got Robert Rakes, Craig and Noss in Wales, the new one, and you've done that. The Old Crown, Cafe Rennie. The Old Crown is opposite the Dick Whip. That's closed now as well. And that was where I sat in the bar. We did a ghost walk, because I used to do the ghost walks. And I sat there, and it was almost like somebody was trying to strangle me. And that has been, somebody wrote up recently about that, saying that they remember going in there, and they said that somebody was being choked or felt like they were being strangled. So there is a history of that. Oh, sorry, I heard a noise. It's Bella. I think it's the foxes outside. She's gone a bit mad. Yeah, so I genuinely thought somebody was choking me. I mean, it was things like that. They scare you, but you also it's unexpected. It's not. It's what's that?
Thank you.
It's not expected. So
Yeah.
when it happens, and you remember it, then it's real. As far as I'm concerned, it's real.
Yes.
So yeah, but hello, Helen. Yeah, we've had amazing times, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It's been good. Yeah, we've got lots more stories we can share.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
forward to
fun.
doing.
Did you come to Tottenham Castle with me?
Yes, I came several times with you to it. So yeah, I mean, I think I went 3 times to the place in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the time when I couldn't sleep and everybody was sleeping on the floor in the big main hall, and I heard this crying, and I thought, oh, it's a child somewhere. So I got up, I went downstairs, and it was just getting light. I went outside, and all of a sudden the noise, the loud noise started again, and I looked right behind me. It was a bloody peacock in a box in there. They put it in there overnight so the fox wouldn't have it, and it was that was making the noise.
Yeah, they can sound quite freaky, can't they? Sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and
Craig and I, she kept having the quilt pulled off and me.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, so that was that's going to be probably for another time. Or spirit do things on their own terms. That's true, Jonathan. They do. Yeah, and they don't have to appear either if they don't want to. But
I missed that one, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's weird. They're not at our beck and call.
No.
They're not there for our entertainment. And I do honestly believe that sometimes they can come through if they want to, but then there's just that little bit that you're not allowed to look or hear any more about it. The thin line that you are not allowed to cross.
Exactly.
But every now and again you might see or hear something. We can't explain why, but we do. So
I think that's a nice way of bringing it to a close, actually.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for helping me out.
That's all right.
And we'll definitely do it again when I'm a little bit more technically minded.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a friend has helped me out, and I'm using Linux on this laptop, and that's a whole new learning curve because I was so many years using Windows, and I'm struggling with it, and I have to keep asking him. So it's just those things when you learn something for the first time. Sometimes it takes a bit of getting used to, but you've got it good.
Well, it's better if you do it as well rather than just listen.
Yeah, exactly.
You can talk people through it, but when you actually do it, you tend to remember more, don't you?
Yes, exactly. Hello, Ian. Ian's a great medium. But I'll actually just go in that, unfortunately, Ian. But you can watch it on catch up anyway. So Ian Griffiths, there we go. So yeah, he's booked me as well for one of his events. So I really appreciate. Ian. So yeah.
Now, so I'll try and see if I can get on just myself. So hand fire, everybody. If I don't go back within 5 minutes, then I've gone.
Right. And those that want to continue enjoying Lynn's company, you can go to The Ghost Lady on YouTube. If you put The Ghost Lady on YouTube, you'll see a happy smiling face next to Michaela. That's the channel you need to go to.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, you'll catch her on Facebook.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Lovely seeing you as always.
So you've got to close it.
Yeah, I'll close it now. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.